You're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity NC, joined by my own Hot Commodity Ant, and today we are covering WWE Monday Night Raw from May 27, 2024, live in Savannah, Georgia. We are 2 days removed from the King and Queen of the Ring 2024, and speaking of that, to kick off Raw, excuse me, we have the 2024 King of the Ring, Gunther, coming out to the ring. Gunther says, on Saturday, I beat Randy Orton and am now the rightful King of the Ring. With that being said, I earned the chance to challenge the champion at SummerSlam. Let's talk about the world champion, Damian Priest. I followed his path ever since Rhea has been out. He took on responsibility of the Judgment Day. The Intercontinental title lacked prestige, and I stood up and made it the best championship in the company. The King of the Ring tournament lacked prestige, so I had to step up and raise it to heights never seen before. The championship does not have prestige because the champion took it by using a shortcut. And with that, world champion Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and JD McDonagh come out. Priest says, look, man, you are King of the Ring. You got an adorable crown. You think you earned something? You did not beat Randy Orton. We all saw that. Take credit for costing Randy Orton a title shot. I cashed in because I earned a briefcase and a Money in the Bank ladder match. Do you get how business around here works? I could teach you a lesson if you need to. Because I am King of the Ring, and if you're still champion at SummerSlam, I will challenge you. Business is not my expertise. I'm waiting for someone to teach me something. I personally can teach you about this great sport. Priest says, I respect what you do in this ring. As your world champion, what can you teach me that I don't already know? You and I are going to go to war at SummerSlam. And then Drew McIntyre comes out. Drew says, mind if I address this crowd? CM Punk has been back for 6 months, and the highlight of his return has been me. If I didn't attack him, he would have gotten fired already. I will be champion in less than 3 weeks. Gunther leaves. Priest says, I'm not looking past you. I just know what will happen when we're done at Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre says, your Judgment Day is screwing up. Ever since the real leader, Mommy, got hurt, it's gone to hell. Focus on you. Wade Barrett, the British Bulldog, William Regal, all United Kingdom legends, but no, none of them were champions. When I won it 3 times, watch when I took out Roman Reigns. The fans broke him mentally. This is my country. Geography lessons. Scottish people are the most passionate in the world. You're walking into a war zone. Those Scottish people will back me up mentally, and they will break you down. Damian Priest says, your game plan is to get people under my skin. I have made a living proving people wrong. Is your wife going to be there? What's her name? Drew says, I will drop you. And then Priest says, I want to get under your skin and see if you're man enough to do something about it. And before anything can happen, Braun Strowman comes out and Braun stares off with Damian Priest. So a lot to unpack here. What do you think about Gunther's claim that he will win the title at SummerSlam?
I don't know. I really don't, because I kind of like to see Drew win it in his hometown next month, but I think CM Punk's gonna fuck that up. So I don't know. I think Damian Priest definitely won this promo. Gunther does not look good right now. He didn't beat Randy.
Yeah.
I know he kind of wins dirty, and that's his thing, but when it's like for something important like this, you know, I think it makes him look bad. And like the fact that he's like, I know, because I kind of say the same thing about Damian Priest being a paper champion, but he did win the Money in the Bank, and Gunther did not win the King of the Ring, so he really does not have room to talk about him. And I'm excited to see what happens with all this. I think that championship's going to be tossed around. I do. I think Drew might have it. I think Punk might have it. I think Gunther. Who knows? Like, I don't think it's gonna be like. I think that it's gonna go the way it's going. Like, Roman had it for so long. I think Cody's gonna have it for quite a while. So I think they're gonna change up our heavyweight. So we'll see what happens.
So you don't think Gunther will win at SummerSlam?
I don't know. I think he's gonna become a champion, but I don't know about yet. I think it's a little premature.
And then Drew McIntyre comes out. Of course, he speaks about CM Punk. His claim is that the crowd in Scotland are going to break Damian Priest. What do you think about Drew McIntyre?
Scotland might be
Drew.
CM Punk. Who knows?
Yeah. So do you think Drew is going to beat Damian Priest? He's got a hurdle to get to before summer.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it, and I keep saying I don't think Damian's going to be champion long, but we'll see. I think that Punk is going to cost him that title, and I think that maybe there'll be rematches. I think maybe SummerSlam will be Punk versus him. I'd like to see a championship in that match, but there doesn't really have to be.
Yeah, there's more of an underlying issue.
But I think it would make it really cool to have the championship in it. So I don't have an answer for that right now, but
I'm calling it now. CM Punk is going to cost Drew back. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, next up, JD McDonagh with Finn Balor taking on Braun Strowman here. Strowman's in full control until Judgment Day gets involved, but that doesn't stop Strowman. Strowman runs right into JD McDonagh on the floor. Balor gets on the apron, and then Braun pulls him in. Carlito comes out and hits Braun. Braun clotheslines Carlito on the apron, and then lands a power slam to JD McDonagh and gets the win. After Carlito and Finn Balor attack Braun Strowman, but Braun kicks them out. JD McDonagh hits Braun Strowman in the back with his steel chair, but Strowman slams a chair out of JD's hands, and JD runs away from Braun Strowman, pretty much running from throughout the night. What do you think about Braun Strowman single-handedly getting rid of Judgment Day?
I really like Braun Strowman, his return. I think he's really cool, and he's really dominant. And I think that I think he's going to go far. And also, I just lost my train of thought. Shit. I think that he will be part of the Judgment Day's demise. It's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Dominik with his new girlfriend, and Damian has to save the day. He's not happy with them. JD McDonagh, I think he makes them very weak. I think he sucks. He loses every match. I think it was a joke to put him against Braun Strowman. I don't know. They're not doing good. So.
I agree. I think Judgment Day is gonna implode soon, thanks to the help from Braun Strowman. So, World Women's Champion Liv Morgan's backstage.
I'm excited because I think Braun Strowman might have something to do with the Wyatts. I don't know. And I'm also excited because I keep hearing June 17th is all the talk that's when they're going to debut, which is the Monday Night Raw after Clash of the Castle.
So Liv's backstage. She says, I did not know Dominik was going to do what he did at the pay-per-view. I am finally your new women's champion. I do need to beat Becky Lynch straight up in my first steel cage match. Nowhere to run or hide. It is just getting started. And if you don't believe it, watch. So Liv's playing like she didn't know that Dominik was going to get involved. And we'll talk more about that later on. But just
yeah, she really didn't beat him straight up. She really didn't beat her straight up. But
no. Damian Priest is with Carlito and Finn Balor. Priest says Braun Strowman should have been handled. Find JD McDonagh and have him come to the playground. So Priest is pissed that Braun Strowman wasn't handled. We then see Ricochet in the doctor's room. He gets cleared by the doctor. He wants to fight Bron Breakker tonight, but Adam Pearce says that he fined and suspended Breakker. Ilija Draganuv then confronts Ricochet and thanks him for last week. Ilija says, soon as you're healed, let's go another round. Ricochet says, let's go tonight. And Dragunov says, I break people. I don't fight broken people. And then Ricochet says, get your gear. I want it. So now we have Ricochet taking on Ilija Dragunov. Great action here between the two. We see Ilija land 3 German suplexes to Ricochet, a Constantine special. Ricochet lands the recoil, a standing shooting star press, but then Bron Breakker comes out of nowhere and spears Ricochet after Dragunov tries to chop at Bron Breakker, but Bron Breakker spears Dragunov as well. Then Adam Pearce yells at Breakker. So what do you think about Bron Breakker continuing his assault, this time also on Ilija Dragunov?
I think that I don't know. I don't really get it. Like, at first I thought them putting him against all these jobbers was like part of the storyline, but it kind of doesn't seem to be that way. And I think it was it was kind of dumb. Like, Lyra Valkyria just got brought up and she made it to the finals of King of the Ring. And you have Braun Strowman fighting people we've never even heard of before. He wasn't even part of King of the Ring. Like, I think Braun Strowman should, I mean, I think, what's his name?
Ilija.
Bron Breakker. I think he should be fucking fighting for the Intercontinental Championship or something right now. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know why they're like holding him back so much. I don't think
Well,
it's
he's
that great.
new, and I think he's having a good start though. He's coming in, he's destroying everybody.
Well, I know, but I just said though, like, Lyra Valkyria just got brought in and she made it to the finals of King of the Ring. And they have him fighting like people we never heard of.
Well, right, they had to turn him because when he started, he was a baby. So it's like they had to give him a reason to turn back, not being included.
Yeah, but I don't think the fans. He's turning like against management. I think the fans are gonna like him even more than he's like.
Yeah, but technically, we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to like someone coming in and spearing a baby face, 2 baby faces. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's badass, but I don't think WWE wants us to chant for him. We just do because we like him. I think they want us to think of him as a heel.
I don't think he's done anything that bad.
No, I don't. But
we'll see.
You know, maybe if he destroys someone that we really, really care about. I mean, I care about Ricochet, Ilija, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the thing with Ricochet I was thinking about.
When he speared him backstage, I mean, you know, not very baby faced, but
No.
All right. So New Day is at an ice cream truck. They're getting ice cream, and Karrion Kross again pretty much tells them to kind of go on their own. We see AOP defeat the Creed brothers after What a Rush. Nothing really special there. Rey Mysterio gives a promo on Carltio. Rey says, you can run to Judgment Day, and maybe they'll welcome you like I did. Tonight, you're going to find you're not going to find an old friend. You're going to find out what happens when you cross Rey Mysterio. Strong promo there. We see Sheamus walking backstage. We see Liv Morgan talking to JD McDonagh for a moment until Braun Strowman chases him more. Interesting that more Judgment Day members are speaking to Liv. Sheamus comes out next. Sheamus says, did you enjoy King of the Ring? It was banger after banger after banger. Sadly, there was no Sheamus. Because that Ken doll Ludwig smashed my knee and took me out, I'm salty that Gunther's coat rack talked about me while I was home. I'm back, fella, ready for a fight. Ludwig Kaiser appears on the Titantron. Kaiser says, I'm right here. I heard you were crying and complaining. Don't blame me, blame Gunther. No one stood a chance anyways, especially not you. After hiding at home, you're trying to tell me what to do. Sheamus says, shut your mouth. I'm just going to go back there and get you. So Sheamus goes backstage, but he gets attacked by Kaiser. He gets slammed into crates. Sheamus attacks back. They fight on the ramp, but the referees separate the two. So what do you think?
I think this could be a good match for Clash at the Castle. Because Sheamus needs a match.
Well, Sheamus is fighting next week on Raw. Kaiser.
But maybe somebody get involved, and it's not going to happen. Because I'd like to see Sheamus on the next pay-per-view. And there's really no matches except for the championship match.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, it could lead to something.
We might get Sheamus and Gunther again. Becky Lynch talks to Lyra Valkyria, and she basically tells her that, you know, you keep learning till it's time to walk away. So if people keep speculating that her contract's running up this weekend, will this be the last to see of Becky? We'll talk about that later. Next up, Lyra Valkyria defeats Kairi Sane after rolling her up. Decent match here between Kairi Sane and Lyra. Damage control doesn't look like they're still on top of everything, and Lyra keeps looking good. She had a good match against Nia, and really, there's really nothing to talk about other than her being on the main roster. Yeah. Damian Priest tells Finn Balor he's looking for Dominik. He asked JD McDonagh why he was talking to Liv, and he's like, I wasn't as upset with her for winning. And then Dominik shows up, and Damian Priest says, "You messed up big time. You better fix it, or else Mommy's gonna be mad." Dominik's looking kind of nervous. So right now, it's looking as if they're all lying to Damian about why they're talking to Liv. Not only Dominik's talking to her, JD's talking to her now. But I like how they're making it like Mommy's gonna be pissed, and Damian's like, "Be careful." Like it's not like they don't know what's going on.
He's the only one that's like showing any loyalty to her. I can't wait till she comes back.
I can't wait either. It's gonna be good. Io Sky destroys the locker room backstage. She's pissed about not winning, not advancing in the Queen of the Ring tournament. And damage control could be ending too. Carlito's taking on Rey Mysterio with LWO in his side. During the match, Finn Balor attacks Dragon Lee. However, Rey Mysterio is still able to land a senton to Finn Balor. 619 drop of dime to Carlito, and Rey Mysterio defeats Carlito here after Rey attacks Finn, but Damian Priest comes out. He destroys both men. He hits a Razor's Edge to Dragon Lee, and then a South of Heaven to Rey Mysterio. Damian Priest steers at Carlito, and Finn Balor are upset because yet again he has to clean up their mess that they didn't get the job done. What do you think?
Yeah, it's falling apart quick.
All of these alliances are ending.
Yeah, I mean they need to break them up. We need like a new. Well, we have a new faction coming, and I think that's obviously going to be great. But yeah, I think like they need to break up. Like Finn Balor needs to do his demons, and I don't know, Dominik needs to do his own thing. JD McDonagh needs to go back to NXT. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, Bronson Reed's taking on Otis with Chad Gable next. During this match, we get the QR code, and this time it's the missing therapist. She shows up. She's looking at a computer screen, and she basically says, "He saved me. I'm okay."
And she's all brainwashed.
Yeah, she's all just like smiling, staring, nothing. And then
she got nailed or brainwashed.
Then we get another footage of someone watching the footage of the therapist, and their face pops in and pops out. We saw WWE 2K24. We got another QR code there where we see the veil coming down of the bride. We don't know who it is. So more stuff, still confusion, but we're getting closer and closer to finding out what's going on here. But Bronson Reed gets the win after Otis is distracted by Chad Gable, and Bronson lands the tsunami for the win. After Chad Gable yells at Otis and tells him to get back in the ring, he wants to hold a meeting with Alpha. He says, "Otis, what am I going to do with you? You lack discipline. Tonight, I'm going to show you discipline. You made me do this." Chad kicks off his belt, and he tells Otis to grab the rope. It looks like he's about to strap Otis, but Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion, comes out. Chad says, "This is all Alpha Academy business." Sami says, "You're not tough. You're a weak little man. You have manipulated your way into an opportunity at a championship title match, and you came up short. You blamed everyone. You can't get the job done." Sami takes the belt from Chad. Chad has Otis stand in front of him. Sami says, "How much more are you going to take?" And then Chad Gable attacks Sami. Chad hits Sami with a German, and he holds the Intercontinental title above the fallen Sami. What is it going to take for Otis to snap?
Yeah, it's getting a little old.
Yeah.
It needs to happen. It's like, this is not, I'm sorry, but like, whether Otis is going to turn on Chad Gable is not keeping me on the edge of my seat. And like, he just needs to do it.
Do it. Turn
I
on.
hope they don't like drag it out till back to the Castle.
Oh,
Like,
they-
it happened on like next
They
Monday.
I'll drag it out. Next up, the main event. The World Women's Championship Steel Cage. The World Women's Champion Liv Morgan defending against Becky Lynch. Becky lands a superplex. Liv
We
hits
met
a
Becky
cobra-
Lynch.
We met Becky Lynch. Respect. Liv hits a power bomb. Becky applies a disarmor between the ropes. Becky then hits a super Russian leg sweep for a 2. Dominik Mysterio runs out and opens the door. And then Finn Balor and JD McDonagh come out and argue with him about why he's doing
Supposedly, he was opening the door to help get Becky
out.
and she was. When he opened the door,
She was getting ready to leave.
she could have walked out.
Braun runs out and runs Dominik. Dominik runs into Dominik. Dominik gets pushed into the door as Becky is trying to leave, and the door slams in Becky's face. And Liv Morgan escapes, retaining the Women's World Championship. But the most important moment of the night, and I was listening to Busted Open, they were talking about this
It's
out
the
of
part you didn't see.
the part that we all didn't see. It's a 3.5-hour show, and Bully Ray was saying this. Like, was it on purpose? Like, why did they choose the biggest moment of the night to just randomly cut off? It appeared right after on Twitter.
A 3.5 hours.
Well, 3 hour and like 5 minutes. It's a 3-hour show. They could have put that's the main.
Right.
So
They could have totally cut out the Alpha Academy stuff.
After this, what we're talking about, Liv Morgan stares at Dominik, and then she aggressively makes out with him, like hand in his hair. He's looking upset.
He doesn't quite kiss her back.
No, he just
But
takes
he's
it.
enjoying.
He looks upset. So my question for you before we end it is: do you think Dominik? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Dominik really knows what's going on, or do you think he's really shocked by Liv and this is all Liv's doing?
No, he wants it. He wants a piece.
He wants.
He's scared, obviously, because he's scared because of mommy, but he knows what he's doing.
Well, I'm excited. I feel like lately WWE has been cooking. It's been really good. A lot of good stuff's happening. I'm excited to see when mommy comes back, what she's going to do to Liv. Will Becky resign? We probably haven't seen the last of her in a while. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, Clash at the Castle, CM Punk. A lot is happening here. We're glad that we're able to give you a recap of it. Make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell on YouTube. New episodes come every day. We have the Attitude Era coming out, or This Is Awesome new series coverage coming out. Lots of stuff coming your way. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.